Well, hello, hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? This is the S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Says podcast, episode number 471. Yes, I am back. Thank you for coming back, my friends. Do you know what's really weird? Today, January 8th, 2024, is literally the 38th anniversary of the first time I picked up a microphone. Wow, wow, wow. 38 years. I was 17 years old. It was down in Philadelphia at a place that no longer exists called the Comedy Works. It was at 126 Chestnut. I picked number 16 and there were about 12 or 13 people in the audience. It was a Wednesday. I stepped on stage and I absolutely killed. Everything I said was hilarious. And the funny thing about it, my friends, is when it goes that well, you think it's always going to be that good. Because I had literally just turned 16 a couple of months earlier. And I'm thinking, this is going to be great. Let's see. Today's Wednesday. I should have my first sitcom by Friday. And I should have my third Oscar by next week. That's what I thought. I go back the next Wednesday triumphantly, overconfident, and how can I put this politely? I don't want to say what happened, but it rhymed with bombed my ass off. Now it really wasn't that bad. It was really more along the lines of it didn't go as well as I wanted it to, and I was going to leave the stage early, but the audience didn't want me to leave the stage, which was a good sign. At the time, I didn't know what that meant. It just means that the audience immediately liked me as a human being, so they gave me permission to do things that other people couldn't do. It's still that way 38 years later. But the funny thing about that particular milestone is that milestone lines up with another milestone. This podcast turned 10 in October, the end of October. And it's amazing. You do something that long and you still like it. You know it's something you're supposed to be doing. It's like if you're married to somebody for a long period of time and you still like being around them. And you're going, wow, that's pretty amazing. I still like this person for all this time. And now I'm starting to do stuff on YouTube and I'm starting to enjoy that. And the audience is growing on that too. And if you're listening and you're from the audience of the YouTube channel, thank you very much. Please subscribe to this like all the other people have subscribed to this. But I wanted to talk about something that was really, really weird. I ran into an old girlfriend of mine today. And it was really weird because I didn't even know she was in New Jersey, which is where I am at this particular time. Right this day, today anyway. And I'm sitting there going, wow, this is pretty interesting. And we didn't even break up in a bad way. It was one of those breakups that you don't even know whether it was really a breakup or not. It's like we were together and then we just kind of weren't and nobody was mad, right? I would run into her with somebody else and I didn't care. She would run to me with somebody else and she didn't care. We just didn't care. And then I remember why the breakup was so easy. I remember why it was so easy. See, at the time, this is a long time ago, the term friends with benefits didn't exist, but friends with benefits itself did in fact exist. You ever see, it's like an old joke or like an old TV type thing where you see people go, well, if we're not married by the time we're 40, then we're just going to get married, okay? And people would say that. But we didn't really say that. It was more along the lines of, I said to her, you don't have a boyfriend, right? She goes, yeah. I said, I don't have a girlfriend, right? She goes, I know. I said, well, I haven't had any loving in like 6 months. And I know you haven't had any in like 2 years. I think you're cute. You think I'm cute, right? She goes, yeah. I said, why should we not get any just because we don't have a significant other? How about we and I just get it on until, if you find somebody you like, then I'll just back off and we'll just be friends again. If I find somebody I like, you back off and we'll just be friends and it'll be between us. And I was half joking. Okay, I was 10% joking. Because I wasn't in love with her, but she was a beautiful lady. And I knew that we were compatible as friends, but I also knew that to go further than that and be like be seriously romantic with each other and be boyfriend and girlfriend and all that kind of crap. No, we were too similar. Whoa, no. Because sometimes you can be close to somebody, meaning you're similar in temperament and similar as people, and it's fantastic. It locks you together. And sometimes you're so similar that, daggone well, you're better off as friends. And a lot of people go, men and women can't be friends. Of course they can be friends. I have female friends that are attractive and that are attracted to me, and we don't do anything because I don't love them. They don't love me. But we're cool. We enjoy each other's company. You don't have to be in what am I going to do? Cut off half the population as potential friends because of some stupid idea that people aren't mature enough to do that? No. That being said, she said yes, and we started getting it on. Right? But the funny thing about it was we didn't realize we had secretly kind of become boyfriend and girlfriend, because if you're around somebody you think is cool and you're also kind of a loner, basically you have just, how can I put this? You have a timeshare on some genitals, right? Like I could literally call her up and say, yeah, you doing anything right now? And she'd go, no. I say, yeah, why don't you come on over here now so we can get it on a few times. She'd go, yeah, okay. Then she'd show up and we get it on. We tear each other out and tear each other down, blow each other out. And we go, that was fun. Whew, that was great. Yeah. Woo. Want to get something to eat? Yeah. And then we'd get something to eat. And then whoever was not the person who owned the home or the rented the apartment, whatever, would just get the hell out of there. And then we'd run across each other a couple of days later. It would just be like two friends hanging out. No, hey girl, that was so good, girl. There was none of that crap. It was like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And that was it. Nothing, no big deal. You know how many times I got called, right? And I looked down and I realized that the only time she called me was when she wanted me to go over there and give her that good deep business so good she thought it was Christmas. So if the phone, you even give them like a ringtone. Right? You give them a ringtone, and when you hear that ringtone, you already know what that ringtone means. That ringtone means thrusting and ejaculation. That's what that ringtone. Boop, 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 boop. You look at the phone, whip, about to get some good stuff happening in the genitals. I'm gonna go over there for about 2 hours and spend 2 hours bouncing stomachs and stomach to buttocks and stomach to stomach and underneath somebody who's growling and screaming and on top of somebody growling and screaming. I don't mean to be graphic or anything, but we banged each other's brains out. I could probably put that more delicately, but I don't want to. Shut up. Back to me. So that's what was going on. And I didn't realize I kind of had a girlfriend, even though, right? Like, she would call me for 9 times out of 10, she would call me to show up over there and give her the business, right? And I let her be the one that make the call because I'm a dude. Like, I could call her and she'd be like, oh, I'm a little busy right now. When she called me, I'll be like, man, I can't believe I'm doing this open heart surgery. You want me to come over and do what? Well, all right, I'll be right over there. Of course, obviously, I don't do open heart surgery. I'm a comedian, but you get the point. And so did she. See what I did there? Don't judge me. Shut up. Back to the story. But all of a sudden, it started to creep into that boyfriend and girlfriend stuff, right? Not on my end. Okay, on my end also, right? Because there would be times, it would be like a few days or a week, and she wouldn't call. And I'm like, what the hell is she doing? Right? And then she'd call, and I tried not to be happy about it. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I forgot you were supposed to be called. Even though I was already picking up, I was already sticking my hand in the drawer, picking up about 5 or 6 condoms, knowing damn well I'm going to get to use all of them. Right? And it turns out she felt the same way, right? She was wondering, how come I always have to call him? He never calls me. Right? And she called me up to yell at me for not calling her. Had we become boyfriend and girlfriend? Had we? Right? It got to the point where we started going, like, we would usually not even really eat afterwards, but one time she wanted me to take her to get something to eat. I didn't have any problem with that. She didn't even want to go any place expensive. She just wanted to go to Burger King. We go to Burger King, right? And I'm not thinking much of it. I'm actually thinking as soon as we finishes this burger, something else is going to be dined on, called your breasts. Don't judge me. Those things were delicious. Back to the story. And I'm not talking about the hamburgers. I'm talking about her titties. Moving on. So anyway, we're sitting at the Burger King thing, and I asked them to make my burger a specific way, right? And they didn't make them that specific way. They didn't make them that way. And I was completely shocked by that. Just kidding. That happens all the time. And she was sitting there going, I can't believe they didn't put the pickles on there. That's garbage. You should go in there and get the pickles. I'm like, I want to go home. I want to eat this hamburger, and then I want to jump on top of you. I don't give a crap about no damn pickles. And she's mad. She's half mad at me and half mad at them. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Right? So we go back to the Burger King again, and I forgot about the pickle gate. Right? This time they hand me my burger. She rips my Whopper out of my hands, opens it up, takes the bun off, and she goes, oh, they better have put the pickles on this time. And I'm looking at her like, why did she touch my burger? And I'm like, I said, you put your hands on my burger. She goes, I put your genitals in my mouth. Shut up. And I went, yeah, I know. But still, you touch them. She goes, all the stuff we do to each other, and you care about me touching the hamburger. And I realized that was kind of weird, but still, I didn't want to touch my damn hamburger. But I shut up because she was almost mad enough to not give me some, so I wasn't going to let that happen. I'm not stupid. So I was just thinking about that, right? And how did we break up? Like I said, we didn't break up per se. We just kind of stopped, right? Like I called her one time and she said she saw somebody, she was kind of sealing somebody, but she hadn't slept with him yet. And I'm like, I don't need to know if you slept with the guy. All you needed to say was, yeah, you're seeing somebody. I said, it's cool, not a big deal, right? No problem. So I left her alone. I didn't even try to do our regular friendship hangout meet type thing. I just got out of the way. Because I don't think a guy that was doing stuff with her that I did with her, to her, on her, with her, underneath her, should be hanging around the couple. So I got the hell out of there, right? And minded my business and went on with my business. Forgot about her. And then that guy messed up. And then she called me and I forgot to take the ring off the phone. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? Oh, but she can't be called. She's got a dude. I'm not into that. She trying to call me to cheat. I don't do the cheating thing. I've never cheated before. I don't cheat now. I don't never cheat in the future. I'm going to pick this phone up and I'm going to say, no, you're with a dude. You deal with that. And then she goes, we're not together now. I said, he's gone. She goes, I said, be sure. She said, I'm sure. She says, do you want some of me or not? And I said, I'm already in the car. I don't know why you're yelling. And went over and gave her that good deep business so good she thought it was Christmas. But then after a while, she started working more and I started doing more shows. And the next thing you know, I ran into somebody that I liked. And she was a sweetheart. She was special. And like I said, I'm not the cheating type of cat, right? So this time I had to call her up and say, I'm seeing somebody. Don't call me. You know, she goes, well, if you break up, you call me. I said, I don't like to put in there. I don't want to assume that I'm going to break. I'm just okay. Right. But I'm doing a show and the girl who became my girlfriend at the time was at the show. And this lady shows up. Not my girl. I mean, the girl who had the arrangement with shows up and she's standing in the back of the room watching me on stage rip that joint. I'm getting standing ovations and hand claps and chanting, and it's great. I'm having a great time. And I see my face in the back of the club in the mirror. I'm smiling because I'm smashing this joint. And I look slightly to stage right, and she's standing in the back of the club by herself like a damn stalker looking angry. Ooh, right? And as I walk off the stage with the girl I'm seeing, who's my girlfriend at the time, she's even angrier. And I'm going, she literally could walk over here. She could walk up and say, he likes to do this in bed. He likes to do that in bed. He likes to do this in bed. He likes to do that in bed, to prove that I had done, even though I had developed several new techniques by then. I'm incredible. Back to me. Shut up. Don't judge me. Back to the story. Right? And I was hoping she wouldn't do that. And she didn't do that. She didn't even talk to me. She just kind of looked angrily, right? Like she goes off and has a relationship and I was cool with it, right? I'm in the middle of the beginning of a relationship and now she's all mad. Oh no. Ooh. But she didn't do anything. But the specter of her doing something was there for a few months. And as it turns out, the girl who became my girlfriend, I don't want to say anything about her because I don't like to talk disparagingly about people. But I think she has you know how you have a store and you have a manager and then you have an assistant manager that has most of the powers of the manager and takes over for the manager when the manager's not there. Well, I think that the girl who was my girlfriend at the time was like the assistant manager for Satan. Yeah, she has all the powers of Satan and only takes over when Satan decides he wants to take a vacation. That's a little hyperbolic, but she was bad. Ooh, we'll leave that there. So I break up with her. And the other lady, the original lady from the story, the lady who had the relationship, found out that I was free and my genitals were available again. And she showed up at my space. And I'm not going to say what happened after that, but it rhymes with good hard banging. Moving on. But eventually we kind of fell apart a little bit. No harshness. Nobody was mad. Nobody did anything weird. She went her way. I went our way, and back to today, January 8th, I ran into her. And it was nice to see her. We're both middle-aged people now, right? And we laughed and joked about what happened before, right? It was a very fun conversation, and I remembered why I liked her so much, right? But I'm not going to lie to you, my friends. There's a little part of me right now that kind of hopes my phone rings so I can show her that the king has developed a whole lot of new stuff that I'm sure she'd like. Please call. I mean, no, don't. Please call. If you hear this, because I told you about the show. And I told you I'd be talking about this. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. You can call, it's okay. These people don't need to know what happened. Moving on. But as I bring the podcast back, as this new season starts, I would like to say thank you to the people that have been listening to me for a decade and slight change. I would like to thank everybody who subscribed to the S. Anthony Says podcast, also known as S. Anthony Says. I know some of my new people from YouTube are listening to this right now. This is your first time listening to the podcast. Yes. Every single episode of the 470 before this one is just as weird as this one. So you got a lot to catch up on. Much love to everybody. It's great to be back. Love every last one of yous. Love every last one of yous in whatever country you're listening to me in right now. Thank you again. I am back. That's right. We're going to have some fun. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you like this show, and you do, please tell a friend to tell a friend about the podcast, please. We're going to have fun, my friends. Much love to you all. I'll see you again next time. S. Anthony out.